Jai Hind and a very good afternoon to our respected guest, Mr. Adhir Mathur, faculty members and the students of PGDM batch 2024 to 2026. I, Anchal Kumari, MC for the day session, accord you a warm and cordial welcome to the induction program for batch 2024 to 2026. I am very privileged to introduce our guest, Mr. Adhir Mathur. Sir, may I have your permission to proceed?
Sure, please.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Adhir Mathur has accumulated over 38 years of corporate experience as a learning and development professional. During his tenure at GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals, he held managerial positions in the sales functions across various locations and also worked in the training function at the corporate office in Mumbai. His expertise includes capability building, negotiation, KAM model, coaching model, competency assessment, performance conversations, and assessment centers to support sales managers at the first line and second line. As an ICF certified coach, he has over 450 coaching hours of experience at leadership levels and has a passion for transforming people's lives through coaching conversations. Additionally, he has over 600 hours of experience in facilitating sessions on design thinking for leadership roles in various sectors, both online and offline. Mr. Adhir is deeply interested in facilitation and coaching and strongly believes in lifelong learning. He applies his knowledge from his certifications as a certified professional EQ and behavioral analyst and certified design thinking trainer to his work with enthusiasm. We are very privileged to have such an esteemed personality among us. So without any further ado, I would like to take this honor of inviting Mr. Adhir Mathur to address the young minds present over here.
And am I audible to the last benches over there? Yeah. Right, wonderful. At the outset, let me congratulate each and every one of you for having successfully cleared all the processes and to get into this prestigious institution to make your career. Right? Can we all put our hands together for that? And to my introduction, I'd like to add one more thing, what she has told in the introduction. I have also authored a book which is called as Unbox Me, which is available on Amazon and Flipkart as well. Right? I'll tell you the background of this book before we get into the session. I have been into the space of blogging for quite a long time, and I wanted to also reach to the masses. So the best way of reaching the masses is through a book, which I published last year. And this is titled as Unbox Me. I'll tell you the premise of this. We as humans go through a lot of thoughts in a day. Can you imagine how many thoughts we go through in a day? $27,000. It's much more than that. It's double of that. It's almost 60,000 thoughts in a day. Right? We get almost 60,000 thoughts in a day. And, the research also says 80% of these thoughts are negative. So much so that it puts us into a cage of limiting beliefs. Right? And this book is an attempt to transform people and come out of that cage of limiting belief by unboxing themselves. Right. Before we get into the session, let us set some ground rules. The first ground rule is participate generously. Right. This session is all about sharing our experiences. Right. So the best way of participation is to raise the hand, because it's only one hall. We'll have one voice at a time. Right? It's clear for all of us? Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you have any query during the next 4 hours, please don't hold any query to yourself. Just raise the hand and shoot the query at any point of time. Let us not keep the queries for the last. And we are not going to go non-stop like Vande Bharat trains and all. We are not a bullet train to go non-stop. We will take a break. And we'll have a break for a good 30 minutes at 3:45. Of course, I've got a clock in front, but I'll require one person who is going to be our volunteer who will tell us at 3:45 that it's time for us to have a break. Oh, we need just one volunteer. We need just one volunteer. You will volunteer. Your good name? Sorry? Utsavi. Okay, thank you so much. So she is going to help us as a timekeeper, right? So that we take a break at 3:45 sharp. All right, and for 30 minutes. Is there any other ground rule that we need to set for our own self? Right. So as I said, we'll have one voice at a time. The best way of participation is to raise the hand. I will ensure that you all are heard and getting a chance to also speak. Right. The only thing is, when one person has started speaking, we need to respect the person and allow that person, him or her, to complete what they are trying to say. All right. With this, let us get into the session. Right. I am sure you all are here to figure it out. What is the future for me? Is it not? What is in store for you? What is going to happen once you come out of this beautiful campus, right? So what is the future for you? How do I predict my future? So let me go back to Peter Drucker, what he has to say about the future. Can one of you read it out, please?
The best way to predict the future
is to create it. Thank you so much. Right. So the future is in your hands, because who is the creator of the future for you? Yourself, right? So you are going to create your own future. And let me draw a metaphor from an aircraft, a passenger aircraft, which is there on the runway, about to take off. It taxis for a while and it is ready to take off, waiting for the ATC clearance, right? And before it actually gets into the air, takes off, it takes, go through the runway, right? So I'm trying to draw a metaphor from that. Imagine an aircraft which is there at the runway waiting for ATC clearance. That's where you all are right now. Your career is going to take off in another 2 years, right? And you are like an aircraft which is having a runway of 2 years. So your runway is of 2 years, which starts from now. And in 2026, your career is going to take off the way aircraft takes off. Are you all ready for that? Yes, sir. Right. Remember, you need to do a lot of preparation for that to take off the way aircraft takes off. Right? So let us get ready and prepare ourselves. So this session of ours is an attempt to prepare yourself to take off your careers after 2 years. Because you can't be making a preparation for a takeoff at the end of 4th sem or in the 4th sem or in the 3rd sem. So when does the preparation start for takeoff? Sorry? Right, the preparation has already started off, right? So this session is an attempt to help you to prepare better so that your career takes off the way aircraft takes off. And remember, you have just a runway of 2 years and the time just flies. All right, so let us see what is in store for us. Before we do that, let us do one activity, right? And we all are used to getting into cafes. This is a different cafe which we'll be getting into. This cafe is Conversation Cafe. There are no tea, coffees, there are no tables here, but you are going to have a conversation for the next 5 minutes, right? So in this activity, we will have a paid activity where there will be people talking to each other as pairs, right? So what is the topic of this conversation for the next 2 minutes is what makes corporate life different from campus? What is it that makes a corporate life different from campus? So what we'll do in this Conversation Cafe is, you will be talking to your neighbor as a paid activity for 2 minutes, and the other person has to listen for those 2 minutes. What, according to you, is corporate life which is different from the campus life? What makes it different? And once you are done for those 2 minutes, the other person will get an opportunity to speak for those 2 minutes. All right? Any queries at this point of time? Nothing? So can we get into the cafe now? Yes, and have a conversation for 2 minutes? So this is a 4 minutes activity and your time starts now. Get into the conversation. Time for us to switch the roles. Please switch the roles. The other person will start sharing now their perspective. Please switch the roles. If you have spoken, let the other person speak now. we are on top of the time now. Can I request you to conclude and come back to me? Right, wonderful. Thank you so much. I know there was intense conversation happening in each of the rows here. I could see it happening, right? So I am quite curious to know what was the conversation happening, right? What is it that you have heard? What is it that you said about the difference between a corporate life compared to the campus life? Love to hear some voices. Who would like to share? What is it that you heard from others? Right, we have some hand mics which can go around. Yeah, would you like to share your thoughts? Thank you.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai
My
Hind.
name is Aryan Jain. Sir, practical exposure can be different in campus and the college life. Sorry, sir, in a corporate and a campus life. And sir, back bitching is also possible in
Sorry?
So back bitching.
Bag
Back bitching.
pitching.
Bitching, sir, bitching. Yes, sir. And politics also, sir, plays the major role in official outdoor parties are something different in
Okay.
sir, corporate, and some relations we create in colleges get departed in the corporate life.
Okay, wonderful.
This is
Thank you
good.
so much. Can we pass it on to, yeah, can we pass it on that side? Please pass on the mic there. I'll come this side a
Jai-
little later. Let me complete this side first.
Jai Hind, sir. My name is Rahul Shah. So we get practical exposure. Okay, and we will learn from professional ethics, that is CSR.
Can you hold the mic a little closer? Yeah.
So we get practical exposure, and the other thing is we learn professional ethics.
It's a practical exposure and
Professional
ethics. Okay.
So we get hands-on practical learning.
Yeah, practical exposure, learning. Right. Wonderful. Lot of hands are going up. Love to have two more voices here. So then we'll listen to this side of the hall as well. Yeah.
Jain sir,
Jai
my
Hind.
name is Ayush, and sir, in campus, a campus is a place to learn, and in corporate we implement it.
Sorry, we?
Implement.
Okay, you learn in campus, you implement in corporate life. Wonderful. What else?
Thank you. Sir.
Wonderful. Yeah, please take the mic.
Jain sir. Jain sir,
Jai Hind.
Aman Pandey. Sir, campus is a place where we shape ourselves, and corporate is a place where they
Keep
test
it
us.
a little closer.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, campus is a place where we shape ourselves, and corporate is a place where they test us.
Where they test you.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have one more voice there. Please pass it on the mic.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Prathamesh Kanungo this side. Sir, in campus, we pay for learning, and in corporate, we are paid for our learning.
Wow, wonderful. Kya baat hai. Excellent. You here you pay for learning, and there you are paid for learning. Wow, wonderful. Yeah, can we have some voices here? Where's the mic?
So Jai Hind sir, my name is Utsavi, and I think right here in the
Keep
campus,
a little closer. Yeah.
in the campus we have great friends, and in the corporate life we have great colleagues, and usually that cannot be interchanged, I think.
Okay. Please pass it on. Let us hear some.
Jain sir, myself Meenal Soni. There is no
Keep a little closer. I think it's not working properly. Or can we have that mic here, please?
Jain sir, myself Meenal Soni. In campus life, we have step-to-step guidance for each and everything, mentors for each and everything. But in corporate life, we have less mentorship for every work related.
You have more mentors here, less mentors
Yeah,
there. Okay.
sure.
Okay. Please pass it on. Let us hear some more voices. At least another 3 voices here. Any 3 voices, please. Any 3 voices from this side before we move on.
Jai Hind sir, I am
Hind.
Stuti Sharma. As we were doing the conversation, she said ki it is the campus life and the corporate life changes, the journey changes from different experiences. For example, when we are in school, it changes to campus to corporate. So the little things which we learn here will really help us in the to build the more experiences and to build our behavior related to how we behave in corporate world. I
Okay.
would say.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah. 2 more voices before we move
Jai
on.
Hind, sir. I'm Harshita Trivedi. In campus life, we are being judged by applauses, and in corporate life, we are being judged by salary.
Oh, wonderful. It's all judgment, right? Wonderful.
Jain sir, Prerna this side. in campus we learn from the mistakes that should not be repeated in corporate life.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. You learn from the mistakes in campus which should not be repeated in the corporate life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One last voice before we move on, and we'll listen to you after her, right? We'll move on.
Samriddhi Sinha here. Sir, in campus life, we are normal students.
Keep a little closer.
Jai Hind, sir. Samriddhi Sinha here. In campus life, we are normal students. We learn and we perform, but we get a chance to perform in the corporate life, and we have to be an asset there so that the company need to keep us, and we have to keep changing up according to the time with new ideas so that we can get promotions and the company want to keep us.
Okay, wonderful. Adaptability, right? Wonderful. One last voice before we move on. Yeah.
Jain sir, my name is
Keep a
Shrita
little closer.
Ansda. My name is Shrita Ansda. So in campus, we work for our development ourselves. But in corporate life, we work for the company.
Company's development. Wow,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful, excellent. I think you all have brought it out so well, the differences between campus life and corporate life. Yeah, please sit down, sit down. Right, wonderful. Now let us see what is in store for us for the next 3.5 hours. What is it that we are going to cover? So, we are going to cover some topics which may be of interest to you in your campus life and also in the corporate life as well. Because remember, you have got a runway of 2 years where you need to prepare yourself, where you need to also get ready to take off. So, we are going to cover a very interesting topic, professional communication skills. I am talking about professional communication skill, not just communication, right, which we all are good at. And then we get into what is it corporate environment all about. And then how do I build my professional image, and what is this time management all about, and how do I manage my time better so that I can become more productive. And finally, we are all going to work as a team, whether you are in campus or in the corporate life. So what is this teamwork all about, and how do I collaborate with my team members in order to have a better productivity. And finally, when it comes to the career development, career planning, and also you need to develop your own self, right, so that your career takes off. This is what you're going to cover in the next 3.5 hours. I know it's going to be a little tight for us. I need your full cooperation and support to complete all these topics. Will it be there? Yes. Right, thank you so much. Right, so let us now look at communication skill. When I talk of communication skill, I am not talking about what we communicate with each other. I'm looking at effective communication. Now let us think for a while, what is it that is required to be having an effective communication? What are the components in effective communication skill? Yeah. Okay, it should be logical. Effective communication. Okay, okay, right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Wow. Let me move on. Yeah.
Sir, in the effective communication, you should be a good listener.
Listener, okay, that is one part of the story. We are looking at, if you have to communicate effectively, there are two components, verbal and non-verbal. Right? It is also said that in an effective communication, the verbal component is just 7%. If you look at the weightage given to the verbal component in effective communication, it is just 7%. What is the other 93% now? Body language and what else? What else? What else? That's all body language. What else? I'm hearing some words here. Tonality. Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. So the other 93%, friends, is the tonality and the body language. We give a lot of importance to, what do we give more importance to in the effective communication? Verbal part, right? But the verbal part is just 7%, and this has been also studied by a person called Albert Mehrabian. Albert Mehrabian, Mehrabian. Albert, of course, we all know Albert spelling, right? Albert. So he went on to do a lot of research work in the space of effective communication, and he came out with this model which is known as 7-38-55 model. He went on to say that the weightage given to the verbal part of the effective communication is just 7%, and 38% is the tonality, the pause, punch, the inflection, the energy, the emotions that we bring, right, while we are communicating. And the larger piece, which is 55%, body language is 55%. Right. What are we getting from this 738-55 principle? What is the message for us? Jai Hind. Bit louder in the absence of mic. You use your built-in mic. We all have got a built-in mic.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, in this we are getting a message that we should have more impact when we speak. It's about our body and voice. They are more weightage. They are of more weightage than the spoken words.
Of course, it is more weightage given to the tonality and body language.
And we should also make other person not noticeable that we are in a different body language or different voice tone.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me give you one example. Maybe you will be able to connect better. Right. The example of the best example that I can think of when it comes to 738-55 is an ad which was done by Amitabh Bachchan for Pulse Polio. Can you all think of that and recall? An advertisement which was done by Amitabh Bachchan on Pulse Polio. What was it about? Do bund? Before that also there was another word. The message, sorry? Right. In this campaign of Pulse Polio, Amitabh Bachchan was given one liner. The one liner was, "Sirf do boon zindagi ke liye." One short line which Amitabh Bachchan was given to communicate. Right? Just one line he had to communicate. How did he communicate? Okay. Serious. Okay. Let me show you how serious it was. He said, "Sirf do boond zindagi ke liye." I repeat again. You may sit now. He said, "Sirf do boond zindagi ke liye." What are you finding in this? What are you finding in this? Not action. What are you finding? Can we have one voice at a time, please? Anyone, please. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. Pause. See, there was a pause here and there was a punch. How was Sirf told? Sirf was with a lot of punch, is it not? Sirf do boons. After that, you see a lot of emotion after the pause. Zindagi ke liye. It's not with the same punch, right? So you will see a lot of tonality, pause, punch, inflection, emotion, energy, right? And of course, body language. The verbal part was very simple. Sirf do boon zindagi ke liye was a very short sentence. Now let us reflect for a while. What is it that we do with our own self? When we are communicating, what is the kind of weightage that we give to the tonality and body language? Do we give the similar weightage? I know your head is saying something.
No, sir, we don't generally pause and punch.
Okay, we generally don't give. Now, this is what the research findings saying us, that if you use the pause, punch and emphasis and inflection, energy, emotion, it becomes in effective communication. So, are we into the business of communication or are we into the business of effective communication? Right. So, what should we be doing differently now? Try and utilize this 738-55 principle when you are talking. All right. And you will find it happening, with many of the leaders that you observe, in many of the seminars that you attend, right? In many of the YouTube videos that you see, right? People use the magic of communication when they play around with tonality and body language. All right, and this tonality and body language also reflects what is the kind of behavior one is exhibiting. You know, we exhibit a particular behavior when we are communicating. We can be aggressive in our communication. You know, aggressive guy is the one who is very pushy, who is very dominating, who is short-tempered, who wants the things to be done, who is not bothered about others. Is it not? We see such people around. They are using aggressive behavior, right? And there is another person who is showing the, I would say, passive behavior. Who is this person who is demonstrating a passive behavior? The guy's tonality is very low, right? Is not demanding, right? For everything he says, yes sir, yes sir. The tone is very low, doesn't make use of the pause punch much, is a passive behavior. There is another person who uses assertive behavior in the communication. So in assertive behavior, what do you see? Assertive. Louder, louder, louder. You should be confident when you say this word. Wonderful, wonderful. And you are saying it with confidence. Yeah, so one is confident. What else? What the other word that you see? Okay, right, wonderful. So the guy is confident in the communication, the guy is direct in the communication, direct, right? And the guy is always respectful for others and puts up the points very clearly to others. That's assertive communication, right? So now let us see who is this person who is exhibiting a assertive communication. And this guy expresses that desires to others. The guy is very clear in communicating what they want to communicate. In one of the class, imagine you are not able to recall what you have read, what you have understood, right? You are being asked a question and you are not able to recall. How do we generally say that? I am not able to recall. How is your tonality at that time? How is your body language? A assertive behavior person will say, sir or ma'am, I am not able to recall this right now. Is it okay if I revise once again and come back to you and clarify? Look at my tone, look at my body language. So even in a situation when you are not very clear about what you want to say, or you are not knowing what you want to say, you can always be assertive in your communication, in your behavior. It means I need to use my right tonality, I need to use the right body language, at the same time be respectful to others and communicate what I want to communicate. Right? So it's all about how do I regulate my own emotions and feelings? How do I express myself? So when I say I understand that what you are trying to ask me, I'm not able to recall right now. Is it okay if I revise once again and come back to you and explain? Am I submissive? Am I passive? How's my tonality when I say this? How's my tonality when I say this? Assertive. So this is what we need to be practicing it all the time. And remember, your runway has already started. It's of just 2 years. So in whichever situation that you are in, you need to be practicing always demonstrating assertive behavior. Right? One need not be aggressive, one need not be passive. But you can be always assertive in what you want to say. It also means that you should be aware and also what is the desire of other person. So other person, what they are asking, I need to be respectful. I am acknowledging that. And can converse well with people at all levels. So be it your HOD, be it your faculty, be it your senior faculties who are coming and asking, you be respectful to them, but at the same time be assertive in what you want to say. How do I become more assertive now? I'm sure you all must be curious to figure it out. How do I become more assertive? At times, you may be working as a team for a particular event, right? At times you may have to work as a team. It may also so happen that people may have different perspectives when you are working as a team. How do I respect the perspective of other person and at the same time work as a team, collaborate? Is you can always respect the perspectives of others because every individual has their own perceptions. At the same time, work as a team and collaborate by agreeing to disagree. You may agree to disagree and work and move on, because every person has their own perspectives and we need to respect that and move on. So that time also you need to be assertive in your own behavior. One need not be aggressive, one need not be also passive in the communication. You can always be aggressive, you can always be assertive. Now I am sure you also must be wondering, what are those traits or qualities which I need to be demonstrating in order to become assertive? How do I become more assertive? I am sure it must be going on in your mind. Right, let us have a look at it. We have seen the importance of tonality in what Albert Mehrabian has to say. 38% is the weight is given to tonality. Reflect back, what is the kind of tonality that you are using when you are speaking? Use the appropriate tonality means it should be aligned to your verbal part, what you are trying to say. You are saying something and your tone is communicating something else. Your body language is communicating something else. That should not happen, because that will be totally, conflict in verbal tonality and body language. So be conscious, be mindful. Am I using the right tonality in what I am saying? Is what you need to be practicing all the time. Be aware of your own body posture and also body language. Sometimes you find that body language, shoulders are drooping, right? That's again a demonstration, a signal that you are having a passive behavior. You are not confident enough, even though you may be saying the right answer. Very often I see people saying the right answer, but the tone is dropping. Very low tone, not audible, right? Body language, shoulders are dropping. What is the message the other person is getting, even though you are telling the right answer? What's the message? Yeah, anyone? When you are asked a question, maybe in the class, right, you are telling the right answer, but your tonality is very low, you are not audible, the last word is also not audible, your shoulders are drooping. What's the message the other person gets? Yeah. Yeah, not confident and confused. Is it not? Yeah. Sorry? Impression goes wrong. Remember, you may be right in answering. If you put down the same, please have a seat. If you put down on a piece of paper, you will get full marks for that. But when you are expressing the same answer, just because your tonality is not aligned, because your tone is dropping, right, and you are not audible, and your shoulders are dropping, people will think that you are confused. People will think that you are guessing. Is it not? So this is what is the power of tonality and body language. Even the verbal may be right. As far as verbal is concerned, you are right in saying what you are saying. But because your tonality and body language is not supporting, not aligned, the other person gets a totally different message. So my only submission and request is, please be mindful of the kind of tonality that you are going to use in any situation. Whether you know the answer, whether you do not know the answer, that should not, make you become a passive behavior, demonstrate passive behavior. All right. Next is maintain the eye contact. Remember, if you are saying the answer by looking at the ceiling, you are telling the right answer, but you are looking at the ceiling, what's the message the other person gets? Yeah, any responses? Yeah, what's the message the other person gets? Not interested. Wonderful. Not interested. So that is the kind of importance the eye contact has. So when you are responding, please have a seat. So when you are responding, it's always essential to maintain the eye contact, look into the eyes of the other person. You need not be staring, but at least maintain that eye contact. It means you both are connected to each other, and when you are presenting, when you are coming over here and also presenting, it's important that you maintain the eye contact with the audience. Right? It means that you are connected to them. And the next one is I statement. If you can recall, I made a statement, when I'm not knowing the answer, when my faculty is asking something, I'm not able to recall, ma'am, right now. Is it okay if I revise and come back to you once again? You see how many times I've used I? Right, so it is all about, when you say I, you're demonstrating a assertive behavior. And of course, I'm taking the ownership. I will revise and come back to you. Right now, I'm not able to recall. I'm taking the ownership of that. And lastly, encourage others also to be clear and direct. So what is it that we can start practicing from now onwards in order to be assertive all the time? Not just when you know the answer. I am saying even when you do not know the answer, when you're not able to recall, can I be assertive at that point of time? Yeah. Okay, what else? Posture or body language, okay?
Yes, sir, my name is Himanshu.
Yeah.
So, sir, my answer was to maintain a good eye contact with the speaker and to maintain a good posture while sitting and listening to the speaker.
Can we have one voice from this side?
Myself, Meenal Soni, to take the ownership of the self. Be ownership like
I'm
you are
saying
using
what
I.
is it that you want to start doing differently from now onwards?
Differently.
From now onwards, in order to be assertive all the time.
Because I never used
What
to
is it
take
that you
any
want to do
ownership.
differently from now onwards?
Be more confident than before.
Okay, you be more confident.
Yeah.
And what about the tonality part of it?
Yeah, watch the tone as well. With
Yeah.
tone and body language.
Be conscious, be mindful of the kind of tonality that you're going to use henceforth. And what's the kind of body language? Remember, when you are speaking, your body also speaks. I repeat again, when you are speaking, your body also speaks. Body also is communicating. That's why we call it as a body language. Body also communicates in its own language. That's why it is called body language. So allow that body also to speak. Right? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll take one last one and as we move on, yeah.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, as we are now in IIEBM and we have seen many new faces. So from now we have to create mutual respect so as to be assertive.
That's true.
Yes.
What is it that you will be doing differently from now onwards? You as an individual, what is it that you will be doing?
Sir, as an individual, I have been creating mutual respect with everyone and
So, in
now
order to be
from-
assertive, what is it that you will be doing?
like sir.
Yeah, give it to your neighbor. She has some point to say. What is it that you want to do differently? My point is very clear. See, if you want to be assertive all the time, what is it that you want to do differently from now onwards?
So while communicating, we have to.
Not we have to, I.
Sorry, sir.
What is it that you will be doing differently?
While communicating with the speaker, I have to make the eye contact, be bold and clear, and have a very clear voice. And even if I am not having the mic, I'll try to speak loud so that the speaker can listen and have interest in what I am saying.
Wonderful,
She
wonderful,
will be not
wonderful, excellent.
uninterested.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll take one voice from this side. Yeah. Who has not spoken? Who has not? Yeah, please give the mic to him. Who has not spoken? Please give an opportunity to people who have not spoken.
Sir, my name
Jai
is
Hind.
Syed Khaber Ali.
Yeah.
Sir, from now on, sir, I will be aware of my body posture because earlier I didn't used to. So
Wonderful. See, this is the. Please have a seat. This is what I was looking at. Okay, what is it that you want to do differently from now onwards? So this is what you need to be writing it down. I want to adopt a different body language from now onwards. I will be more mindful of the tonality that I'll be using from now onwards. Right? So this is what you are taking away from this session. What is it as an individual you want to do differently from now onwards in order to be more assertive? Alright? See, writing down all the points may not help if you ask me, but if you make a note, what is it that you want to do differently? What are you taking away from this session? Which you want to start executing in order to, become a better version of yourself is what you need to be making a note. Right. Let me also give you a context of this. We all want to be successful, right? And we also want to show a successful behavior. When do I become successful? Only when I show a successful behavior, right? Let us now look at the genesis, the origin of this behavior. How does this behavior happen? The research says that we all get our thoughts first in the mind, right? These thoughts will lead to a particular emotion, whether positive or negative emotion. These emotions will drive a particular behavior. I repeat again, we all get thoughts in the mind. These thoughts will lead us to a particular emotion. These emotions are the ones which will drive a behavior. So if you want a particular behavior, what is it that you should be doing? What is it that you should be doing? Positive? I gave a sequence of events. I said, first of all, we get thoughts in the mind which will lead to a particular emotion. Emotions are the ones which will drive the behavior. So if you want a positive behavior, if you want a behavior which will help me to have a better version, what is it that I should be working on?
Jain sir, my name is Himanshu. So first of all, we should think positive.
Haji, so you should be working on your
Thoughts. Positive thoughts.
Bapre. It has taken so much of time. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So we should be working on our thoughts. Remember, the thoughts are the ones which are going to drive your behavior. Right? Have a look at this. If a person is having negative thoughts in the mind, I'm not good at this, I cannot do this, I cannot come and make a presentation, I'm not good at public speaking, I cannot make a presentation myself, I'm getting a lot of negative thoughts. What will happen? It will obviously lead to low self-esteem. Low self-esteem will have those expectations to fail. I'm going to fail, I'm not good enough. And ultimately what will happen? The person is actually going to fail. Happens? Now let us see the converse of this, right? Another person is having lots of positive thoughts in the mind. What will it lead to? It will lead to high self-esteem, and high self-esteem will lead to expectation to succeed, and this guy will actually succeed. So my question to you all is, if you want to succeed, which I'm sure every one of you wants to, where is it that you should be working on? Where is it that you should be working on if you want to succeed?
So our thoughts at first.
Wonderful. So you should be working on your thoughts first. If I get the right positive thoughts, the possibility of you succeeding is pretty high. And remember, the research says 80% of the thoughts that we get are negative. It comes very easily to us. Because our forefathers, ancestors, who were living in cages, and it was a matter of fight or flight for them. For survival, they were getting a lot of negative thoughts for their own survival and protection. And negative thoughts come very easily to us. So my only suggestion and request is, please make an attempt to transform all these negative thoughts into positive ones and see the difference. My assurance to you all is, you will find a big difference. You will find not just a difference, you will find a big difference if you transform those negative thoughts into positive ones. Shall we start doing it? Yes, Pakka? Yes, right, wonderful. So this is the second one. First one was assertive. What is it that you want to do differently? Second is, would you start now filling your mind with positive thoughts? All right? Right. But at the same time, we all go through a lot of nerves. We all go through a lot of anxieties. Right, before a assessment, before a project work, before a presentation, right, before an exam, before a assessment, before a viva, there is a lot of anxious moments. Right, nothing has happened to the screen, don't bother. You are looking a little confused. Nothing has happened to the screen. Hello, nothing has happened. I have done it for myself. I have blacked it out myself, right, don't worry. Right, so it's natural for a human being to go through those anxious moments. So be it a CEO of an organization, be it a prime minister or president or anyone for that matter, everyone goes through these anxious moments, right? The only question here is, how do I manage my own nerves? What are the ways in which I can overcome those nerves? Right? How do I transform this anxiety into a positive one, positive energy? Number one is, acknowledge that there is a positive anxiety, right? It's good to have that positive anxiety a little bit. It will bring out the best performance. And the second thing is, visualize success. It means, we all are gifted with the power of visualization. I'm using the word called gifted. We all are gifted with the power of visualization. It means, before I was entering into this hall, before I came onto the stage, I was visualizing from there that I will be standing here, I'll be talking to all my friends here, right, for 4 hours, and at the end of 4 hours, I will make an impact on everyone. This is what I was visualizing. So if I visualize this, the possibility of me doing it is pretty high because you are already visualizing it and it's going to happen. You will make it happen. So that is the power of visualization. And remember, we all are gifted with that. How often we use this power of visualization? So my appeal to you all is, try it out. Whether you are making a presentation, whether you are talking about your assignments or any test or any project work, anything that you are doing, start using the power of visualization, because this is what we are all gifted with. You will find the difference. Right? Anticipate if anything can go wrong. Right? I was anticipating that, devices can go wrong. Right? Power can go off. Anything can happen. Be prepared for that. And have a plan B, a plan C ready. And of course, breathe steadily and deeply means before you make a presentation, before you actually go into the project work, or before you talk to any of the senior leaders or senior faculty members, take a deep breath. Right? A lot of oxygen goes to the brain and then you will be more relaxed. And of course, keep yourself hydrated with a glass of water. It's natural to, go dry. So hydrate yourself properly. And keep a sense of humor, it's also okay. And nothing can replace practice, practice, practice and practice. So if you're making a presentation, if you're showcasing your project work, or if you're talking about making any, taking part in any of the events for that matter, nothing can replace practice. Nothing can replace practice, right? So practice, practice and practice. And of course, you may practice in front of the mirror as well. And lastly, put up a little smile which says that you are in control of your own self. You are cool, composed, and you are in command and control of your own self. Right? And of course, I don't have to tell you about dress comfortably because you all are smartly dressed. Right, wonderful. Now let us look at the characteristics of a good presentation. I'm sure you all are making good presentations, or you have made good presentations in the past. Right? How many of us come with a experience of having worked in an organization? Oh, wow, almost 25%, right? Wonderful. So you all come with a work X, right? Excellent. So now let us see, some of you who come with a work experience would have made presentations. Some of you are going to make presentations, right? Be it in these 2 years or maybe in the corporate life. So presentation is something which is going to be there with us, be it in the campus or in the corporate. And let us see what are those nuances, what are those tips and tricks of making a good presentation. So I call it as a CDD, which is nothing but the content, delivery and diligence. So when it comes to content, I would suggest that you all, while you are all jotting it down, at the same time try and connect with what we are discussing. Otherwise you end up with only writing. It should not so happen that you are only writing it down, right, as a stenographer. But try and connect and try and, allow yourself to comprehend and understand what is it that we are discussing, so that you are picking up those takeaways. What is it that you are understanding and want to do differently from now onwards? So when it comes to content, be very clear about your content is well planned, well organized, and also having a clarity with all the images and all. This is what I'm sure many of you must be doing. What is important here is when you are presenting, what you are presenting, am I using the tonality in the right way? Right? How is my choice of words that I'm using? When I talk about use appropriate words, it's all about the choice of words that I'm using in my communication or in my presentation. And from where do I pick up the choice of words? We all have got a vocabulary bank. Vocabulary bank. So I pick up the choice of words from my vocabulary bank. Right? And this is like a work in progress, like a bank account. How do I increase my bank account? By depositing, right? So here the vocabulary bank you keep on increasing by adding some new words. So whenever you see a new word, maybe in the newspaper, maybe in the talk of some people, maybe in the webinars, seminars that you are attending, or some faculties who are talking to you, any new word that you see, be a little more curious to understand what is this new word all about. What does it mean? Can I Google it and find it out? And once you know the meaning of this word, what do? I start using it. So it gets added to your vocabulary bank. That's how you expand your vocabulary bank and pick up from there to use the right word, the choice of words. Right? Of course, body language and conviction is what is very important here, because when you are presenting, remember, even if you are presenting it right, but your tonality is not aligned, your body language is not aligned, you are not showing that conviction, that confidence, the other person will get a different message altogether from your presentation. Happens? Right. Now let us come to the diligence part, where you need to be a little more high on enthu level. You need to demonstrate that energy. Right? And look at the audience. Who are your audience? Do a little bit of audience analysis. What do my audience actually want from me? What am I here for? Right? What is it that I should be conveying to them? What do they expect from me? Is what I need to be knowing before I get into the presentation. And finally, have some interest in the subject as well, and then talk a little bit as a subject matter expert, SME we call it. Right, so that is CDD now for us. What is it that you want to focus on going forward on making a good presentation? Yeah, some new voices which we have not heard so far. Yeah. What is it that you want to do differently in diligence?
Interested in audience. Interested in audience.
Okay.
Then interested in subject. Then
hold it a little closer.
Hello.
Yeah.
I go for first diligence, where I took audience first, then subject, then confidence and enthusiasm.
Okay.
Then content, then delivery.
Right, wonderful. Any other voice? What is it that you want to do differently from now onwards in order to make a good presentation?
Jain sir, myself Yachi Johri. For the content part, I would say that as per the studies, humans grasp the graphics more often than the words. So having a visual communication is the best way to present any presentation, and that I would implement from now.
Okay, you use more of visuals. Yeah. Wow, wonderful. Yeah. Oh, one hand is going up there. Yeah. Be a little more louder. Jai Hind. Be a little more louder so that others can listen to you.
So what I would do to be a good presentation would be I would involve question and answer session once my presentation is done. So that would involve the two-way communication as well, and it would be more like an involvement presentation.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful, excellent. Right, with this let us move on, and before we go for the break, now let us also look at emailing, which is a very important way of communication in business as a business etiquette, or maybe in the campus as well. Right, are we all familiar with the emails now as a means of communication? Yes, sir. Right, wonderful. Now you may be communicating with each other through emails, or maybe to a faculty through emails, right? Or to outside world through emails. Now let us have a look at as you are getting into profession now, you are becoming a professional. What should a typical email etiquette be like? What are those do's and don'ts of emailing? Because so far I have been used to texting, you know, in the social media. All those abbreviations, TTYL, I never knew what is TTYL. Later on my daughter told me it is talk to you later. Right, I realized but later, TTYL, right? So we can't be using those abbreviations and those slangs in our email etiquettes. Now let us see what is this all about. First and foremost, when you're sending out an email, there has to be a subject line. What does the subject line mean? Subject line says that what is this content going to be all about? Because when you're sending out a mail, the first thing that the receiver sees is the subject line in the inbox. The receiver may receive, you know, maybe 25 emails on that particular day, and they go by the subject line from whom it is coming. So your subject line should be a little more interesting, should be more curious, should drive the curiosity, should convey what is this content going to be all about. It should be short, crisp, but at the same time talk about what is this content going to be all about. So be mindful of what is the kind of subject line that you're going to use. And begin with the real purpose. The email should convey very clearly what is this purpose all about. Why are you conveying what you're conveying? Of course, while we are talking to each other orally, we demonstrate a particular tone. Email or language also will have a tone. Other person will get to realize what is the kind of tone that you are using in the words that you are using. And before you close, ensure your reader knows what to do. It means what is the action that you want the other person to do? What is the action that you want the other person to take? That should be very clear while you are closing the email. It should not be ending abruptly. At the same time, one should be also clear what is it that you want the other person to understand from the email. Very often we text in the email body and then send it out, right? So the best way of sending out an email is, once it goes out of your right box, you can't retrieve it. Of course, there is a way of recalling the email, but once it goes, it can be forwarded to anyone in the world, is it not? So one should be mindful of what is the kind of text that I am using. So the ideal way of doing it is, use a draft facility, the draft functionality. First put the email in the draft, complete the entire texting, give a pause of maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Leave the device, come back again to the device, read the entire draft mail as if you are the receiver. Read the entire mail as if you are the receiver. How is the receiver going to perceive your email? How are they going to perceive it? How is it going to land with others? What are they going to understand from your mail? Once you are convinced, then only shoot it out. Right? And we are not used to, our eyes are not used to reading all caps. Very often I see some people using some words in all caps. They want to highlight. They'll use all caps. So avoid it as much as possible, not to be used, because it's very aggressive to the eyes. We are not used to, can you read a newspaper which is in all caps? We cannot, because it's so aggressive to the eyes. So avoid that all caps. This bold, italics, underline is only used to be used only when you have to emphasize on some words. And avoid this fancy, text and bullets. Use an attachment only when necessary. Do the spell check. That's what I was saying. Put it in the draft so that you are doing the spell check as well. And reply all. Of course, we all know that it has to be used only when it is required, not otherwise. And chain mails, you need to be mindful of that. So before we go for the break, let us have a look at one of the video message about the etiquettes of email. All right, it runs for about 2 or 3 minutes. Let's have a look at it.
Email. It's both a major convenience and a ceaseless distraction. But regardless of how you feel about it at the present moment, one thing's for sure. It's an unavoidable necessity. Chances are, you can't make it through a workday without composing at least one email. The basics. When you build a house, you start with the basement. So before we dive into the specific sections of your email, let's take a look at the fundamentals. If you're sending from a personal address, for a job application or informational interview, for example, make sure your address is still professionally sounding. You want to make the right impression, and partyboy123@gmail.com isn't just going to cut it. If you've received an angry message or are feeling enraged yourself, step away from the computer for a few minutes. Firing off something in the heat of the moment will only result in problems. Include a friendly greeting and closing. It makes your entire message feel more complete, polished, and professional. Proofread. Enough said. Timing. Effective timing is one of those things that's all too easy to forget about when you're doing your best to power your way through your inbox. But if you've ever received an immediate one-word response to a thoughtful, lengthy message, or you've waited weeks to get a reply you were anxiously waiting for, I think you'll agree that timing is worthy of a little more consideration. As a general rule, respond to emails as soon as you're realistically able to. You don't want to leave people hanging. If the message deserves a little more time and thought, try not to fire off an immediate response just to get it off your plate. Instead, reply and confirm that you've received it, and notify the sender that you're going to take a little bit of time to think things through. One tip to help you keep your responses in check is that the faster you respond, the shorter your answers should be. Recipients. Seemingly endless email chains. Coworkers who continue to CC you on messages that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Those teammates who seem to have no clue what that handy BCC field is for. They're all things that you probably gripe about, at least when other people commit them. But let's turn the spotlight on you for a minute. Have you gone against any of these etiquette rules in regard to your recipient list? Proceed with caution when using reply all, and only use it when everyone in that thread needs to be updated. You've been warned. Don't be afraid to use BCC, especially in the instances when you don't want all of the addresses or recipients to be visible to everyone. Here's a handy rule to keep in mind. Listing someone in the to field means that you expect a response. In contrast, if you CC that person, you're simply keeping him in the loop of your message to others. With all of that said, the fewer people you can include on an email, the better. Too many cooks in the kitchen will likely just lead to confusion and crossed wires.
Right, so before we go for a break, let us hear some voices. What is it that you want to do differently from now onwards? This is my favorite statement. Love to hear your takeaways, so that you are taking away something from this session. Jai Hind.
Avoid the chain mails. So is it good to mail separately on a certain topic?
Right, so it says that chain mail is the one where there is a, mails are going on the same topic again and again. There is a long chain which is going. People lose the continuity of that. So if it is a long chain, it's better to start a fresh one so that people are not getting confused.
And the topic is certain and we are following up on the same topic.
So if it is a same topic, same content, then it's good to use. It all depends on the context in which you are using the chain mail. If the topic is the same and if you are all discussing the same topic, good to have the continuity. So use in the right context. It's not every time. Thank you. Yeah, some more hands are going up here. Yeah, people have not spoken. I love to hear those voices. People have not spoken so far. Yeah, good. Another 1 minute. Yeah, please.
Sir, I will try to keep myself positive and have a good body language.
Okay, and about the emails?
So, I'll look forward. I'll check everything before sending it to the
the recipient.
anyone.
Okay, wonderful.
And keep check on the words that I use.
Spell check.
Spell check.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, is it okay to use AI while writing emails?
Can you expand on this point, please?
Sir, can we use ChatGPT for writing corporate emails?
So the recipient will not know whether you are using ChatGPT or Google or what is it your own texting. ChatGPT is not for copy paste. ChatGPT you may avail and you may access it to pick up some
strong points.
Sorry? But don't do copy paste as it is. That's what my suggestion is. You may pick up something from ChatGPT, pick it up and refine. Go through, refine and contextualize and then use, not as it is.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bhaiya. Okay. Then we'll listen to you and then we'll take a break.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Myself, Harshita Trivedi. I will be more
Bit closer.
I will be more professional and presentable.
Wow.
In the emails.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll have one last one before we go for a break. Yeah, any voice which we have not heard so far? Yeah.
Jai Hind, sir. Rahul Roshan this side. If I in a frustration mode, I will take a break. Then I will go for a email because in a frustration mode, I may not use a appropriate word.
Wonderful, excellent. It's always a good practice to draft a mail, take a break, read it once again from the receiver's perspective, and then send it out. Wonderful. So on this note, we'll take a break and then we'll come back again at 4:15. It means the session will start at 4:15 and we need to be on our seats before that. All right, enjoy your break time. Getting so patriotic to listen to this, when you all say Jai Hind. Right. Welcome back, everyone. And before I get on with the post-tea session, I want a quick feeler from you. How is it going so far? From the time that we all started off at 2:30. I'm not looking at, good, great and all. How is it going for you? Interesting. Okay. Informative. Okay. Knowledgeable. Okay. These are the words I was looking at, Not good, great and all. Right. We'll carry on now from where we left earlier and look at the second part of our agenda. We come, right. Can we all settle down that side, please? Can we all settle down? I'll wait for a while till you settle down. Right. So the next part of our agenda, after we looked at what is a professional communication skill, now we are getting into the corporate environment. I am also aware of the fact that about 20 to 30% of you come with a corporate experience, having worked in some organization, but majority of you will be getting into an organization. Right. So let us see what is that culture all about? What is that environment of a corporate all about? Right. Every corporate is different. Every organization has its own values, by which they do the business. They have got their own vision statement. They have got their own mission statement, right? So when we talk of these values, what comes to our mind when we talk of a value of a corporate? We all have got our own values with which we are all grown up in our families, right? So what is that value of a corporate? Any of you can make an attempt here? Values of a corporate. Every company has their own values. Yeah.
I think one of the values in corporate culture is being patient.
Okay, but what exactly is value? What are those values?
Value are basically the code of conduct
Mm-hmm.
that are being used in an organization.
Okay, wonderful. So values in an organization is the way they, please have a seat, the way they do business. The way they do business. See, we all have got our own values in our families with which we are all brought up, which are non-negotiable. Is it not? We don't compromise on those values in our families. And neither our parents nor our grandparents have compromised. Similarly, every organization has its own values. Right? And that is the way in which they do business. So I need to be aware of what is the kind of value system this organization has. Where do I come to know it from? When you visit their website, you will find these values mentioned very clearly. Right? Yeah. Jai Hind. Wonderful, excellent. And so also the vision statement and the mission statement. So what is a vision statement? Now let us try and understand vision and mission. Yeah, what is a vision statement? Vision. Yeah, some of you have worked, come with a corporate experience, can make an attempt. What is a vision statement? What is a mission statement? Yeah. Of course, to earn profit is what they are all existing for. If they don't earn profit, they can't pay to their employees' salaries. But what is the vision statement? Right. Any other attempt? Yeah.
The vision statement is a vast term as compared to mission. And mission is a short-term goals that we set in the companies to achieve step by step.
Okay, step by step. That is how they do the business. How they do the business is mission statement. Vision statement is what they want to do, what they want to achieve. Right? In the long term, of course, in the long term, please have a seat. So it means, if it is a healthcare company, if it is a pharma company, for example, yeah, you raise the hand. You have to speak a little louder.
Hello. The company's vision might be maintaining the company's sustainability, keeping in mind about the employees and the business relations, the partnerships they are handling.
the long-term goals, perspectives, and the achievements of the company. And mission will be how to do it.
How to do it. Wonderful.
How
Wonderful.
to achieve.
Wonderful.
Keeping in mind the workforces, the employees, good and bads.
Wonderful. Can you pass on the mic? There is another hand going up. Thank you so much. You are very close. Your mission statement is pretty close. Yeah.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai
My
Hind.
name is Amisha Agrawal. So basically, I have a corporate experience of 1 year with ITC Limited. So for me, vision is basically where the company itself in upcoming years or a long time, and the mission is how to achieve that vision.
Wow, wonderful. Can we all put our hands together for you? Wonderful, wonderful. I think you are spot on. You are spot on, right? So vision statement is, what the company stands for or what the company wants to achieve in the times to come. Mission statement is how they want to do it. So, the preparation for you starts much early before you get into the corporate life. You go for placements in third sem or fourth sem? Third sem, right? So third sem, when the recruiters start coming here, right, that is the time when you have curious to know about what is the vision statement of this organization, what is the mission statement, what are those value systems. How will you come to know? You have to visit the website, go through all those vision and mission and statement of this to know what is this organization all about, what do they stand for. Because when you are talking the same language to a recruiter, they feel connected to you, right? They feel that this person knows quite a lot about my organization, so they can fit very well into our culture, right? So that is the time you have to study their values, mission statement, vision statement, so that you are very clear what does this company do, all right? And they will have their own norms, the way they do the business. They will also have their symbols and artifacts. It means, like you all have got a dress code here. Companies may not have the dress code, but I have seen many of the organizations, especially the manufacturing organizations, they all are provided t-shirts and shirts with the company logo and the colors, right, that they are all expected to wear and come, right? So I have seen many of the, be it Tata Motors or be it any of those manufacturing organizations, you will see many of those employees or even managerial level, people are all provided a t-shirt or a shirt with the company logo and the color, right? So that is what can be the norm. I need to be very clear about the dress code, and they will have their own traditions of celebrating some days, some events, right? The way we all celebrate some events here, and they are all used to, they have their own language and jargon to be spoken. I need to be mindful of that. And what is the kind of work environment? There are manufacturing organizations where it is entire 5 days a week or 6 days a week in office. There are some organizations in IT or in other setups where you can work for 3 days from office and 2 days from home. So it is, they call it as a 3+2 or 2+3, right? Or they call it as a fully remote where you can work from home all the time. So I need to be aware of what is the kind of culture that is existing there and what is the work environment which is existing there. All right. Some companies are very particular that you need to log in at 9 and maybe log out at 5. Some companies are quite flexible, right? You have, this is the project that you are part of and you have to complete this project. So I need to be aware of all these nuances, of every organization, and I need to be curious about learning from, for which company, what is the kind of environment which is existing much before you join the organization. Right. Let us also look at the hierarchies, because every organization is different. There are multinationals where they have above country reporting. It means their head office may be in England, it can be in Singapore, or it can be in some part of US, right? So the CEO here will be reporting to their managers in those countries. We have got Indian multinationals. It means it's an Indian company, but they have got offices in other countries as well. That's an Indian MNC. One is MNC, the other is Indian MNC, and there are Indian companies also, those who have got operations all in India. And there are some startups, there are some family businesses. I need to be aware of who are managing this organization. What kind of organization is this, right? And what is the kind of hierarchy which is existing in that organization, right? So organizations will have hierarchies as per their verticals, business verticals, or as per their business units. And they will have their own hierarchies, which I need to be aware of. So at the entry level, which you are all going to get into an organization, what is the hierarchy which is existing there? Sometimes they may have a senior manager whose boss will be sitting in Singapore, but this guy will be sitting in Pune office or in Mumbai office, right? So they will have a dotted line reporting to a administrative manager in the local office, but their direct boss or line manager will be sitting outside India. Happens? So I need to be aware of that. Now, what is the ask from me? What is the professional ask from all of us? The professional ask is attitude, skill and knowledge. Remember these 2 years of runway that you are all going through, you need to have this professional ask. So professional attitude is what you need to inculcate and develop yourself. And you are all here to imbibe, to hone or to develop the skill sets that are required for you. Whichever function that you are going to be, whether you are in HR, finance or marketing or sales or maybe supply chain or whichever function that you are getting into, you need to pick up the relevant skill sets. It's not enough, let me be a little more blunt and upfront, it's not enough just to get a PGDM because the industry requirements may be something else. So see what is the environment which is existing, right? What is the skill sets which are required for me to get into a role? What are the skill sets which are required? Like for example, if a guy is going to finance, you can't just say I have a PGDM pass. You need to, recruiters will be interested in knowing, are you comfortable with Power BI, which is the need of the hour? So if they find 2 candidates, one is knowing Power BI, the other is not knowing what is Power BI, they'll obviously pick up the guy with Power BI skill sets. I'm just giving you one example, right? So you need to be aware, what are the new trends which are happening in every business, in every function. Because by the time you pass out, the trends would have changed, is it not? You need to be staying relevant, you need to be adaptable, you need to be aware, how are the technologies growing, what are the new trends coming up, what are the new skill sets which are required. When you come out of the campus and get into the corporate life, and you need to start developing those skill sets and honing those skill sets in order to be ready, in order to be corporate ready. Are we aligned on this? Yes, so this is something which has to go parallel to a PGDM. Because this is what corporates will look at, apart from the knowledge. So I have given just one example of Power BI, there can be many other examples. If a guy wants to get into marketing, right, you may have to do some certifications in digital marketing because that's what is the need of the hour. Every corporate will be looking at, in marketing, are you comfortable with digital marketing? Because that's what every corporate is doing these days. Just to give you an example. So I would suggest, I would recommend, urge, request you all, be curious, explore the options which are available to acquire knowledge and skill. The relevant skill sets which I am talking about, maybe some certifications which you can do parallelly apart from your PGDM. It can happen parallelly. You can do some virtual courses, certifications, right? I think you have got edX is one platform which you can all make use of. edX, EDX, right? So they offer a lot of good courses from international universities, which you can acquire those skill sets and certifications. Make your CV, make your resume more richer, robust, heavier, attractive in these 2 years. It's not enough, again I'm saying, it's not just enough to have a PGDM. You must be more marketable, you must be more employable, right? You must be in demand for the recruiters to pick you up. Right, that's what the professional ask is. Are we all ready for this professional ask? Yes, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. Now let us look at, if you are ready for this professional ask, what is the kind of image that I want to build for my own self? Remember, so far, we have an image about our own self. So when I talk about the image, thanda matlab? Thanda matlab? Come on, thanda matlab? Coca-Cola, right? दूध सी सफेदी निर्मा से आए, वे तो पता है सबको, निर्मा, right, wonderful. So, when we look at these taglines, we get a brand name in our mind. How is it engraved so much? You don't go and buy Nirma every day, right? But how is it that you are recalling this brand name Nirma? Because of the tagline, because they associate, with this tagline so much that it gets ingrained in our mind, and we associate that Doodh Si Safedi means Nirma. It cannot be anything else, right? Can we also have a similar tagline for our own self? Can we also create an image for our own self, a professional image? Like if a person takes your name, then they should be able to associate you with some image. I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a door bell ringing in your home, right? Just imagine for a while, you are in your home and there is a doorbell which is ringing, and you get to know that there is a pilot, airlines pilot who has come to your home. What goes on in the mind for you? What's the kind of image that you keep in your mind? Yeah, any one person? Yeah. What is the image which comes to your mind? With a cap, okay. Okay, because of late flights. Okay, what else? What else comes to your mind when you hear that there is an airline pilot who has come to the home? What else comes in the mind? Sorry? Jai Hind. Smart guy, well dressed. Come on, you have not seen, all pilots will not have lavish. What's the image that you have? We are talking about the image, not the lifestyle. Image. What's the image that you get in the mind first? Yeah. A white uniform guy, well dressed, smart dressed, it comes to your mind, is it not? Yeah. Okay, remember one thing, friends, you would not have actually met a airline pilot. A airline pilot may not be a friend or a relative. You may not have talked to them, but you have only imagined or you have seen them, is it not? And we have formed a image in the mind. The moment you hear airline pilot, that image comes to your mind. You know, a guy who is smartly dressed with a white dress, with a hat, and well groomed, well mannered guy, is it not? That's the image. How did we develop such an image? Right? So similarly, you all carry an image. You all carry an image. Remember this, whether you like it or not. So the moment, you know, your name is taken, people will form an image about you. What's the kind of image that you want to create for your own self? The way airline pilot has created for themselves. The moment people take out your name, maybe in the campus or maybe in the corporate, you should be able to, you know, have an image about your own self. What do people talk about you behind you? What do people talk about you behind you, not in front of you? That's your image. And remember, you are responsible to create your own image. That's what we are talking about, professional image, not just the personal image, right? And of course, these are some of the dressing for success is something which are very common. I will, these are, you know, self-explanatory. You can just read it, wear conservative clothes, conservative hairstyle, look crisp, deodorant, makeup sparingly, right? Limit your jewelry, and all these are, I'm sure everyone is aware of this. Right? Don't be flashy, don't wear hair too long, don't wear sneakers, don't douse yourself with perfume, don't wear too many earrings and tattoos, and belts of the same color has to be there, right? These are some of the basic things which I'm sure everyone is aware of, right? What is important here is from henceforth, be it in the campus or be it in the corporate, you are responsible for creating your own image, and it has to be you have to portray yourself as a professional. And the onus and responsibility is on every one of us, right? So that you look professional, you carry yourself in a professional way, right? And that's how we form an image. Right, now let us look at our own branding. One is the image, the other is branding. So when I talk about the professional brand, what are the key steps? Now, number one is do a self-assessment. When I talk about self-assessment, we look at your own inherent strengths. What are the kind of strengths that we all have? My experience is we all struggle when people ask us about our own strengths. The weaknesses come very easily to us. You know, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this. But when it comes to strength, can we recall at least 3 strengths of ours? Everyone? I know, because you all have done SWOT analysis. Right? So, next question is, what are you doing with your strengths? Are you really leveraging your strengths? If you are aware about your strengths, are you leveraging your strengths? Yes or not? Yes, sir. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear this. So if you are aware, that's a good thing. My only suggestion, request, recommendation is try and leverage your own strengths as much as possible, because weakness is something which everyone on earth will have. There is no human on earth who is a perfectionist. There is no human on earth, not yet born, who is a perfectionist. It means every human being will have some limitation, some weakness or the other. It's okay to have such weaknesses. Okay, fine. But my only concern is, every human also has got some strengths. Are they aware? Are they leveraging that strength? Many people are not even aware. Forget the leveraging part of it. So try and leverage your own strengths mindfully every time. Right? So what are the values that you all stand for? We were discussing about corporate values. Now I'm asking you, what are the values that you all stand for, which are non-negotiable? Are you clear and aware about it? Right. So next thing is, start practicing them. Start believing them. Start living those values. Those value systems are something which are non-negotiable, which you should be known for. Okay, this person is known for this. And that's how you create your own image. Right? And have a very clear-cut career goals. What is it that you want to achieve in life? What is the purpose? What is it that you want to become? That should be very clear from now onwards. Because you are getting into specialty now. Right? Be it HR, be it finance, be it marketing, or be it supply chain, or whatever it is. You are getting into specialty, so you should be very clear. What is it that you want to do and become? And the next is the elevator pitch. What exactly is this elevator pitch? Wow, some hands are going up. Wow, wonderful. Yeah. Wow, wonderful, excellent. I'm so glad to hear this. Please have a seat. Elevator pitch, the name has come, because elevator, when you are going in an elevator from maybe ground floor to the 5th floor, the time that elevator takes, if you are meeting someone in an elevator from in the ground floor, till the time you reach the 5th floor, you should be able to talk about yourself. Who are you? What is it that you stand for? And what is it that you do? And what is your tagline? So by the time the elevator reaches the 5th floor, you should be able to portray your own image and talk about your tagline, talk about your own, self and the image. So I would recommend that you start preparing your own elevator pitch. What is the kind of brand image? What is the kind of tagline that you want to keep for your own self? We have seen taglines of brands, whether it's Nirma, Coca-Cola, or any other brand. Do you also have a tagline for yourself? Can we think of a tagline which you want to be associated with? Like, let me give you an example of myself. People do ask me, what is my tagline? So I am a strong proponent, I am a strong believer of lifelong learning. This is what I stand for. This is what I mention everywhere, whether it's a LinkedIn or whether it's everywhere I mention in my profile, in my bio, in my CV, everywhere I mention, I am a strong believer of lifelong learning, which is my tagline. Because I strongly believe that learning cannot stop in life, because life doesn't stop teaching. Life doesn't stop teaching, so one should not stop learning, right? Whatever age a person may be. Try and think, what can be your possible tagline? Everyone sitting here should have their own tagline. What is it that you want to be known for? Your brand image, your tagline, elevator pitch is something that you should be ready with. Can we think of this? Your image, your tagline, and your elevator pitch. Are we all going to work on this? Yes, sir. Right. You may have to spend some quality time to develop this and start working towards that. All right. Now let us look at, we are all good at social media. Right. We are all masters of social media. Is it not? Be it reels or be it uploading or be it presence in the social media, right? Now let us see what is it that we can do to leverage social media as a professional. As a person, you have been leveraging, right? You are very active on social media, but what about as a professional? How do I leverage? How do I make use of social media as a professional? Right? How many of us have got a LinkedIn account here? Wow, everyone is present on LinkedIn? Right, right. Can we have the hands down? Number 2 is how many of us have 1,000 plus followers on LinkedIn? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1,000 plus. Wow, wonderful. Right. How many of us visit LinkedIn on a weekly basis? Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Right, wonderful. How many of us are utilizing, all the functionalities of this platform called LinkedIn? I know, hardly, 5%, 10% of the hands. It means, I know, I got the answer. It means there are a lot of functionalities which are available on this platform called LinkedIn. Beat the banner, apart from the picture that we upload. I sometimes find people are not even having their own picture. And your picture should be a professional picture, not just a, selfie. Are we all using all the functionalities of this LinkedIn platform? Right from banner to picture to about yourself to the keywords to, uploading and to how often I visit LinkedIn, how many, thought leaders I'm following, right? How am I connected to people who are in my field, right? So your optimization of this account starts now. It means number 1 is you can go to any of those YouTube accounts and see how do I leverage LinkedIn? What are the functionalities in LinkedIn? Right from the banner onwards. See that you are utilizing all the functionalities of LinkedIn, number 1. Number 2 is I would recommend at least in a week spend 15 minutes. Possible? In a week. Maybe, I'm not saying do it, obviously you can't do it in the weekdays when you are in the campus, but at least on the weekdays on the Saturdays or late in the night, whatever it is, at least for 10-15 minutes, see that you are trying to expand your network. See that you are you're following the like-minded people. See that you are following some of the thought leaders. Like if a guy wants to be in marketing, right, who are those marketing gurus whom you want to follow? Right from Peter Drucker to maybe leadership, like John Maxwell. John Maxwell is the person who has written a lot of books on leadership. If you want to become a leader, can you follow John C. Maxwell? John C. Maxwell, Maxwell. He has written a lot of books on marketing, on leadership. And he is available on LinkedIn. He uploads a lot of his videos. He puts in a lot of messages. Can I start following? All I need to do is just search for John Maxwell and start following this guy. So similarly, can you start also following some of the CEOs so that you are aware of what is it that they are doing, what is it that they are attending? Can you start attending some of those live sessions on LinkedIn or maybe some of the live sessions on Insta by some of the thought leaders? Can you also start uploading some of the activities that you all are part of? Any workshop that you attend, any webinar, seminars that you are part of, what is it that you are learning? What is it that you have learned in that webinar, seminar? And can you share in that LinkedIn group so that people are aware, okay, what is this person actually going through? What are the skill set that you are acquiring? People should be aware of that. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. Just go to search, type that guy's name, right, and just click on follow. That's it. For connect, the other guy has to accept you. But for following, the other guy need not accept you, right? You can start following. Right, so first is start following. That is the first step, right? And show your social presence. Be present on LinkedIn, right? Start liking the content that you are going through. Start commenting on the content that you are reading. What are your thoughts? What are your perspectives? Share your perspectives, right? Connect with them because people will observe this guy is, being present is visible. Showcase your visibility, increase your visibility. People will observe, okay, this person by so and so name is visible on this platform regularly, and then you send a request to connect and send out a message that why do you want to connect, and they will accept you, and that's how you expand your network. Right? Hope it helps. And remember one thing, before people meet you, they would have already seen you in the social media. Before they meet you one-to-one, they would have already seen you in social media. What is the image that you want to portray about your own self in social media? I'm not talking about, the Insta pages and reels and all that stuff. I'm talking about the professional social presence. All right? So any event that you are attending, showcase yourself, portray yourself, show your presence. What are you learning? Any certification that you're doing, upload that certificate and talk about what are those 3 learnings that you have had from this certification. Share it in LinkedIn. Let people know. Use the hashtags. Tag some people. All right. So that's how you develop connections. And Twitter. Are we all familiar with Twitter? Are we on Twitter? Right. For others, those who are not, I would suggest there is a professional handle. Utilize Twitter as a professional handle. Right, and you can connect with people, you can tag people, you can use hashtags there, right, and you can also start following some of the thought leaders. It's very easy to open an account, hardly takes a minute. And next is, we are all on Insta. I know we all are Insta, we are all posting reels, we are all looking at reels, but how do I make use of Insta as a profession, as a professional? Right, you can also post your content in Insta as a profession. Right, and story highlights, you can engage with people in Insta as well, right, and Facebook, apart from uploading our pictures and other events, can I use Facebook for my professional work? How do I make use of Facebook as a professional network? Jai Hind. Can we have a mic for you? Thank you.
Prior coming to this institution, I was working as an HR executive. So personally, I used Facebook. Like I used to recruit for people who are
Blink closer.
who are knowing languages like Tamil, Telugu, like different kind of languages. So I used to recruit for those people. So I used to send personal messages to them by writing the whole JD. And if they were interested, they used to connect with me personally by like on my maybe official number or my email ID or maybe my LinkedIn account too.
Okay, wonderful. So there are professional pages available in Facebook. There are groups available in Facebook. Like if you are getting into the HR, there is a HR community available in Facebook. Can you become a part of that community? Right? If you are getting into finance, there is a finance community group. Can you become a part of that community? Can you become a member of that community? Right? So that you are, networking with the like-minded people. You are knowing what they are posting, what they are learning, what they are sharing, what they are attending, what they are reading. That's how you develop your network. And of course, you can also start uploading and sharing your own learnings. What is it that you have learned out of any of those webinars, reading, or any books or any articles that you can upload that you are learning? So develop this culture habit of making the social presence, in a professional way. So far we have used social presence in a different way. Can we start using it as a professional from now onwards? Because remember, this is the runway. 2 years will just pass by. Right? You don't want to enhance your social presence in the 4th sem. Right? This is the time that you have to start becoming more visible in the social media as a professional. Remember that image, the tagline, the elevator pitch. What is it that you want to be known for in the industry? People will start watching you. Recruiters will start watching you. Right? How do you want to portray yourself? Be very clear with that, right? And of course, many of us watch YouTubes regularly. My only suggestion is, can I become a YouTuber? I'm not asking you to become a professional YouTuber. Can I also upload some of my own video messages in YouTube? Can I start think of uploading any of my message in YouTube? myself, right, which is free. So think of these lines, okay, how do I make use of these social medias which are available to me? Can I also get into blogging? Can I start writing articles on the topics of my interest in my own domain? Make a beginning. You may not be the perfect in writing an article, so be it. The first article need not be perfect. It doesn't come out well. It's okay. But make a beginning. There are some platforms available like WordPress.com, which you can make use of to upload your blog and publish it. Make a small beginning, right? Let it be 300, 400 words. Start making use of this, and that's how you develop yourself. If you want to become a professional and an expert, somewhere you have to make a beginning. Let this be the beginning. All right. We are getting into something very much common to all of us. Time management. When I say time management, it means your time starts now. What does time management mean to all of us? Want to hear some voices about time management? When we speak of this word called time management, what comes to your mind? Yeah. Jai Hind.
According to me, time management is how we schedule our day and how we schedule every minute to be more efficient.
Schedule. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Have a seat. What else? What else? Yeah. Some new voices. Particular deadline. There's a time management. There's a timeline. It's a timeline. We are talking about time management.
And efficiently using our time.
Efficiently using time. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Let me give you some context here. I'll come to you. Very often we hear the word called, अरे सर टाइम ही नहीं मिलता है, दम मारने की फुर्सत नहीं है, बोलते हैं हम. और क्या बोलते हैं? सोने का भी टाइम नहीं है. और व्हाट एल्स? वेयर इज द टाइम फॉर मी? कहां टाइम है? सबके लिए यही बोलते हैं, टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है, दम मारने की फुर्सत नहीं है. राइट? हाउ ऑफन वी से कल करेंगे, कल करेंगे, कल करेंगे. एवरी डे वी से कल करेंगे. Wow, wonderful. And this kal comes anytime? This kal never comes. Huh? This kal never comes. Right? So this is something which is very common. I would call it as a disease which we all are suffering from, including myself. I am no different. Right? So let us try and understand what is this time management all about. Why do we say this? Kal karenge, kal karenge. And how do I manage this 24 hours? Because apart from myself, be it Narendra Modi, be it Joe Biden, everyone is having these 24 hours. Right? Look at their lifestyle, look at their function, look at their duties, roles, responsibilities. What are they doing? Are they getting 25 hours? No. How are they managing their 24 hours? They are also sleeping, right? They are not robots. But how are they managing their 24 hours? What is it that I can do if I need to manage my own 24 hours? Wow, lovely, lovely, excellent, excellent. Prioritizing the work. Yeah? Yeah, have a seat, have a seat. Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Wow, excellent, excellent. Lot of good thoughts are coming up. So happy to hear this. Yeah.
Having a proper schedule, like how we are going to manage our all 24 hours in a day, like what we are going to do in our first hour, then second hour, and this is how we can.
Lovely, excellent, excellent, excellent. Good thoughts. Yeah.
Basically, time management is scheduling the work. Along with it, we have to remove the unwanted activities.
Unwanted activities like what?
Like using social media for a longer period of time.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful, excellent, excellent, excellent. So what I'm hearing from you all is, I think, let me also try and synthesize. So time management is nothing but allocating the right time for the right activity at the right time, right for the right purpose. allocating the right time for the right activity for the right purpose is nothing but time management, right? Many of you are talking in your own words, but quite similar. Now let me give you one story. Suppose you are getting a SMS in your mobile that 86,400 rupees are credited to your bank account. कैसा लगेगा? हाँ? बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. 86,400 rupees are credited. It's not a scam, huh? It is not a scam. But if it is a reality and you are told to spend this amount in a day, you are told to spend this amount in a day, what will you start doing? Yeah, any person, yeah. Give a chance to other person, yeah.
I will invest that money in stock market or something else like that.
Not something else. You need to be very clear. 86,400 rupees is what you need to spend.
Sir, I will invest it.
Entire amount?
No, like half amount I will invest.
This is not the half. I said you need to be ready with what do you want to do with that money if you have to spend that money in a day.
I will buy iPhone.
But yeah, you cannot say I will spend half of it, I will spend some here, some there. Uska account to rakhoge? Will you keep an account of this or not?
Yes, sir. I buy a day. I will buy a day.
Arey yaar, I am saying, will you keep an account of this 86,400 rupees which you want to spend in a day or not? Half of it I will put it in shares or in this market. Is it an account? You have to spend 86,400 rupees in a day. Yeah, I saw some hands going up here. Okay. Can we pass on the mic here, please? Yeah. Quick.
Jai Hind, sir. My name is Soumya Nema. I will be analyzing my requirements. Then I will be spend the money accordingly.
Not accordingly. Will you keep an account?
Yeah.
Of 86,400 rupees?
Yes, I will. And then I will be spending that money accordingly, that I have to invest in this and...
Okay. Can I ask you something challenging?
Yes, sure.
If someone steals 5,000 rupees out of this 86,400, how will you feel?
Of course, bad. I will feel bad.
What will you do?
Then I will cut short my requirements.
What will you do if someone is stealing 5,000 rupees?
I will investigate how it...
Then you investigate and
find out how it...
Then after that? What will you do? Someone is stealing 5,000 rupees. You will only investigate. Then?
Complain.
Right, wonderful. Right. Sit. So it was only to bring out, the clarity when I was asking this question. Now, she says very clearly that I have analyzed and I have got a plan to spend this 86,400 rupees. At the same time, if someone is stealing 5,000 rupees from this, my money, I will investigate and try to figure it out who is stealing, and I will catch hold of this person and maybe try to recover or ensure that this doesn't happen again. Is it not? That's what we generally do. Now, let us draw an analogy from here. The way you are getting SMS of 86,400 rupees, every day morning when you get up, whatever time you get up, you are getting a SMS that 86,400 seconds are being credited to your life account. I repeat again, the time you get up in the morning, every day, you are getting a SMS that 86,400 seconds are getting credited to your life account. What are you doing with this? How are you spending this? What is the 86,400? What is the 86,400? 24 into 60 into 60. Who want a calci? You want a calci? 24 into 60 into 60 is 86,400, right? So every day morning, 86,400 seconds are being credited to your life account, whether you like it or not. The way you are planning, analyzing to spend your rupees, 86,400, are you also analyzing and planning to see how you are spending this 86,400 seconds every day? Where is your 86,400 seconds going every day? Every day, not just one day. Now, can I ask you something challenging? Right? Is there any activity which is stealing your 86,400 seconds? We call it as a time robbers. Time robbers. Is there any activity which is robbing your seconds? 86,400. Or time wasters, time robbers. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Are you aware? Right. Then, once you are aware, my next question to you is, what are you doing about it? I try. Right. It means there is one thief who is robbing you of 5,000 rupees every day. You are aware that this is the thief, right? But you are closing your eyes because this thief is robbing you of 5,000 rupees every day. Will you allow it to happen? Please, please. So all I am saying is, are you aware what are those activities which are robbing you of your time? From these 86,400 seconds which are getting credited to your life every day. Where is it going? How are you spending? Are you analyzing the way you analyze rupees? Yes or no? Are you analyzing? Pakka? Right. So my only suggestion and request and recommendation is, try and analyze where is my 86,400 seconds going every day. The way you analyze rupees. Which are those activities which are robbing you? Right? Robbing the seconds, 86,400 seconds. Number one is, are you aware? Number two is, if you are aware, what are you doing about it? Will you allow this activity to rob you continuously every day? The way, someone is, I asked her, if someone is stealing 5,000 rupees, what will you do? You will not keep quiet, right? Certainly you will not keep quiet. Similarly, if one activity is robbing you of 5,000 seconds every day, will you keep quiet? Will you keep quiet? But keep your hand here and ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you taking some action or are you keeping quiet? हाँ जी, अभी तो बोले आपके no, I will not keep quiet. Now you are saying I will keep quiet. I am keeping quiet. So all my request is, reflect for a while and ask yourself, where is my 86,400 seconds going every day? What are those activities which are robbing my time? What is it that I can do about it? Remember, social media is not bad. Reels are not bad. Don't blame mobile phone, or don't blame Reels, or don't blame Facebook or Insta or anything else. Remember the definition. The definition is allocating the right time for the right activity for the right purpose. How much time you want to allocate so that it is not robbing you of your time. Can we start thinking in these lines to manage our time better? All right. And now let us come to some of the activities. Some of the activities can be urgent. Some of the activities can be important for us. What are those urgent activities for us? Any activity which has got a timeline attached. Any project which you have to submit by, today is 12th. By 15th EOD, by 15th evening you have to submit an assignment. That's urgent. What is important? Any important to you is important, right? Wonderful. So now, am I really classifying my activities into, is it really urgent? Is it important? Is it urgent and important? Or is it urgent but not important? Is it important but not urgent? Or is it neither urgent nor important? What if I start classifying all my activities into this right from the time I get up till I go back to the bed? So Eisenhower, who was the US president, has actually he has come out with a model during the World War time, which is called also as Eisenhower model. He has come out with this urgent and important matrix. So where he has tried to classify into all the four quadrants. So as you can see here, there can be a quadrant of urgent important, there can be a quadrant of important but not urgent, there can be a quadrant of urgent and not important, there can be a quadrant of urgent, neither urgent nor important. Now let us try and see each of them. Oh, sorry. Right, the first quadrant is urgent and important, which are FIRE means which have got a timelines attached to it. Right, some deadlines, immediate needs, critical problems. Any example that you can think of? Assignment, you have to submit by a particular date. Whatever it is. So assignment, there is a timeline attached and it has to be submitted. It is urgent and important both. Right, and what is important but not urgent? Important hai, but it is not urgent to me. Any example that you can think of? Any example? Yeah. Going to gym, right, is important to me, but it's not urgent. If I'm not able to go today because of rain or bad weather or some assignment work, I can go as well tomorrow, right? But I need to go to gym and spend maybe 4 hours in a week, right? Wonderful. Any other example? No, activity, we are talking of an activity. Future planning is broad headlines, right? What is the activity which can come under this? Activity we are talking about. Yeah. Yeah, please, you have raised the hand. Practicing? Hobbies, like what? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So it is important to you because it is your hobby, but it's not urgent. If you're not doing it today, you can as well do it tomorrow. Right. Let me try, some examples here. You are planning, organizing, reviewing long-term goals, self-care, development. Like if you want to do a course, certification course in edX, right? It's important for you to get a certification done, right? But it's not urgent. You're right. You may enroll it tomorrow, but see that you are completing the course by end of August or end of September. It's important for you. You have to get the certification done. You want it. But it's not urgent because you can do it in June or July or even August also. But it has to be done. Are you getting it now? Yes, sir. Right. What is urgent but not important is something like day-to-day tasks, meetings, urgent mails or errands, something of that sort. Any example here that you can think of? Right. It is urgent but not important. Any activity? Shaving, right? So shaving is something which is urgent that you need to do, but it's not important to you, right? Any other example from this side? Example, activity. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Important, wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad that you are all getting into this mold now. So start thinking and classifying your activities. And lastly, neither urgent nor important is distraction, social media, junk emails, so on and so forth. What else can come under this? Neither urgent nor important. And web series, OTTs, okay, what else? What else? I know a lot of things will come under this. What else? What else will come under this? एक minute. Driving fast. Sorry? No, activity which is neither urgent nor important. Activity. So driving is something which you are doing already, but think of an activity which can come under this. Can we have one meeting, please? I think there are a lot of conversations happening. 1 minute. I think there are a lot of conversations happening. Can we have one meeting, please? Yeah. Going to club is neither urgent nor important. Scrolling the reels, keep on scrolling. You initially think of, let me spend some time, 20 minutes, but it sucks time. It actually sucks time. You do not know. By the time you have done, it's already, 1.5 hours. And battery is already draining. Then only you will come out of it. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Right, vacation. Instead of Goa, it can be vacation, right? Chalo, fine. So, we wanted some few examples. Are we all clear on this? So, all my request is try and start prioritizing. Try and start looking at, what are the activities I do? Where am I spending my 86,400 seconds? From the time I get up till I go back to the bed? Are these activities, fitting into which quadrant? Is it urgent and important? Is it important but not urgent? Is it neither urgent or important, or is it urgent and important? So what is the benefit, if I start prioritizing them, if I start putting them into these quadrants, what is the benefit? We will? What else? What else? What else? Saving time is an outcome, yeah. Clarity, okay, you will get clarity. You are very clear on where do I need to spend more time on, where can I spend less time on. Obviously this is the quadrant where you will be spending less time, neither important, neither urgent. I am not saying don't visit social media, don't look at reels, no. But what is the time that you want to spend on that? Because they should not rob you. They should not, steal your time. Right, wonderful. And now let us also look at, we are all here to set goals. Remember, we are all here to create our own future. Right? Or obviously every one of us will have goals. So what is it that is required for me? What are those principles that are required if I have to set my goals in the goal setting? Number one is commitment towards the goal. Right? We all know the meaning of this word commitment, but what it has to do in the context of goal setting. How do I demonstrate commitment when it comes to goal setting? Yeah, so can you share a little more on this? Means what?
Promise to ourselves that we will do this goal this time.
Okay, promise to our own self, okay. Yeah, have a seat, yeah. You don't have to be standing once you have said, yeah. Sticking to the goal, when? I mean, okay, you are very close, yeah. Yeah, you only, not getting distracted, wonderful. So, that is another point. Being consistent, okay, consistent, commitment, okay, is a little different. Right, let me share with you. See, when you are setting the goals in life, maybe short term or maybe long term, whatever it is, remember there are going to be obstacles, there are going to be impediments, there are going to be triggers, there are going to be upsets. Expect them. Expect them. What am I going to do that time? Am I really committed towards my goal, or do I give it up? Giving it up is very easy, is it not? Arre nahi ho raha hai, kya kare? What can you do about it? There are so many problems coming up. But how committed are you to your own self, as you said? How committed am I to myself? Is this commitment all about? Remember, there will be problems, there will be impediments, there will be obstacles, there will be hurdles. Expect them, it is bound to come. In that situation, how committed are you to yourself when it comes to your own goals? Is what you need to be asking your own self. Right? And the next thing is clarity. What does it mean when it comes to goal setting? Clear vision, wonderful, wonderful. Clarity is nothing but, having a clear vision about what is it that I want to achieve in what timelines. How clear I am about it. If I am not having the clarity towards my goal, right, will I be able to achieve it? I should be able to, once I get a clarity, I should be able to keep that end in mind. You know that book of 7 Habits of an Effective Leader by 7 Habits. By? Who is the author? Stephen Covey. Right, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of an Effective Manager. You have to keep the end in mind. It means you have to keep the goal in mind and start working backwards. What is it that is required for me to start doing to achieve that goal? You keep the end in mind and start working backwards. So that is the kind of clarity that we are talking about here. Right? The next thing is challenging. What has challenging to do with the goal setting? What has challenging to do with goal setting? Yeah, come on. Any of you would like to make an attempt here? I'm not hearing anything from this side. Are you all muted or can you unmute yourself? This is a offline, not online. Can you unmute yourself? What does challenging mean to you in goal setting? I want to hear some new, different voices. Yeah. Wow, lovely, lovely. Haath mila there. Good. Comfort, challenging means the goal that I am setting for myself has to have a stretch element in that. Right? It has to make me come out of my own comfort zone. Right? Remember one thing, be it in the professional life or be it in the personal life, can I achieve success when I'm in a comfort zone? Be it in the personal life or be it in the professional life. I'll give you many examples. Right? In the personal life, if you have to buy a vehicle, buy a property or do a big function, can you be in the comfort zone? Right? Not possible. Professional life, if you have to achieve certifications, if you have to get success, if you have to get a gold medal, if you have to score high, right? Will you be able to do it in the comfort zone? Obviously not. So it means one has to come out of the comfort zone and stretch yourself. We call it as a tenacity. Right? Stretch yourself to achieve greater things in life. That's what we are calling it as a challenging. But you should not, there is a subtle difference between stretching and straining. Come out of the comfort zone, stretch yourself, but do not strain yourself, which is beyond stretching. Because if you are straining yourself, you will get into lots of problems of, sleeplessness, forgetfulness, health issues, so on and so forth, if you are straining yourself. So I'm always saying, stretch yourself and not strain yourself. But you can't achieve greater things in life if you are in the comfort zone. What is comfort zone? Comfort zone is something which you are doing as a routine. Anything that you are doing as a routine is a comfort zone. Because human brain gets used to that, gets accustomed to that. Anything that new that you want to take up, there is always a pushback from subconscious mind. Why do you want to do it? कल करेंगे, जल्दी क्या है? अरे क्या जरूरत है इसकी? Is it not? The subconscious mind is giving you a pushback. You tend to procrastinate. Right? And we want to remain in the comfort zone. But is it, can I ask you something challenging here? How comfortable you will be in the comfort zone? How comfortable you will be in the comfort zone? Think about it. Are you going to be comfortable in the comfort zone? If you want to remain in the comfort zone all the time, Haji? Will you be comfortable in the comfort zone? Because remember, in life, be it in a personal or professional life, you are looking at achieving greater heights. You are looking at achieving some goals, looking at success, looking at certification, gold medal, looking at projection, recognition. Will you get all these things in the comfort zone? So will you be comfortable in the comfort zone? Ask yourself, is it the right place for me to be in the comfort zone? Come out of it. Alright? That's what I was saying. Comfort zone is something which subconscious mind tells you to be in. But are you really comfortable in that comfort zone? Ask yourself this. Do you want to be the same what you are today? Come out of that comfort zone. Right? And the task complexity, this, the goal that you are setting should not be complex. Try and make it more simplified. And at the same time, take feedback. I think feedback will touch a little later. Right, now we are coming to something very interesting. Procrastination is something which we are talking about. Kal karenge, right? Let me share with you one research finding. One of the research finding is the human brain, has the ability to recall at least 5 tasks that we need to do in a day. Every day you do a lot of tasks. You have to write an assignment, you have to complete the project, you have to read certain things, you have to complete certain things. Is it not? There are a lot of to-do things. So human brain can recall the 5 tasks which you can do in a day. But what about if the task is more than 5? Human brain will not be able to recall that. Right? That's what the research says. So hence, people have started using a to-do list. To-do list. It can be on a piece of paper, it can be on a diary, or it can be on phone, it can be on, it can be paper and pen, or it can be digital as well. Right? So you may use whether digital or paper. How many of us actually has the habit of using to-do lists? Regularly, not just once. Oh. Wow, good number. Thank you so much. Can I listen to some of the voices? What makes you use this to-do list? What makes you use the to-do list? Can we listen to her, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jai Hind sir, Kritika this side. So before I used to procrastinate a lot. I used to forget my things, what to do, and so these days I started making my to-do list in my phone notes. There's an app in phone notes. So I used to make my to-do list and try to complete my list overall.
Wonderful, excellent. So this is the benefit of to-do list. At times we say, "Arey yaar, I should have done this. It missed my mind. I forgot, I should have done it." We realize it much later. To-do list will help us to fall back on, to refer, to ensure that I'm doing what I want to do, what I wanted to do in the day, so that you don't miss out on any of those things that you are planned to do, or you are expected to do, or you have decided to do, right? So this is something which is required for every one of us. Be it a paper and pen or be it digital, right? You can use notes in the mobile, you can use different ways. In calendar you can start using this MS Teams. In case you have got access, you can start using. There are so many ways of using digital way as well, right? Are we all on the same page to use to-do list? Right, wonderful. Procrastination, is nothing but talna. Is it not? It's a human tendency because we want to be in the comfort zone. Human brain wants to be in the comfort zone. Anything new that you want to start doing, the human brain tells you, what is the urgency? Because I have to do something, coming out of the comfort zone. There is a pushback given by the subconscious mind. Do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow. What is the urgency? Is it really required? Nahi kare to bhi chalega. Jaldi kya hai? Jaldi kya hai? Right? So I was really impressed with one statement in one of the workshops, which one of the participants has come out with. That guy said, Talo. There is nothing wrong in talna. Talna is nothing but procrastinating, right, in Hindi. Talna, is it a disease? Is it bad? Talna by itself is not bad, right? But this guy went on to say, Talo, magar schedule mein dalo. Talo, magar schedule mein dalo. Schedule is nothing but your to-do list. Suppose today I have to do certain work, right? I am not getting time to do that because I have got a lot of things on my plate. I am not able to complete this. I don't have time today. So I am not able to do that today. So I have to postpone. I have to do the talna. Talo, magar schedule mein dalo, it means I am not able to complete it on 12th. Can I attend to it on 14th morning first of all, when I get up? So by doing this, are you really procrastinating? आप टाल रहे हो मगर उसको प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट कर रहे हो. So procrastination is something where you are doing talo, magar you are not putting it in the schedule. Because that kal never comes. So here you are postponing, but you are putting it in the schedule of another day. So that you are able to complete it not today, but on either tomorrow or day after tomorrow, in the first hour or in the second hour, whatever it is. You are very clear that it is going to be part of my to-do list on another day, not today. Can we think of these lines? Can we think this way? Is it possible? Now let us see, why do people actually procrastinate, right? And how do I overcome procrastination? So I should know my priorities. Generally, क्या होता है कि I fill my day with lot of unimportant things. You know, the tasks which are neither important nor urgent. I fill my day with that. I start doing things which are neither urgent nor important. But there is another task, assignment, which I have to complete and send it, maybe submit tomorrow early morning at 9 o'clock. I'm not getting time for that. Whom do you want to blame? Whom do you want to blame for that? Right? I'm not able to manage my time because I'm not allocating the right time for the right person for the right activity. So I should know in my urgent important matrix which quadrant is having what activity. Where do I need to spend more time on? Where do I need to spend less time on? Right? So don't fill your day with low priority task. Don't fill your day with all the unimportant, neither important nor urgent activities. And try and give more importance to the urgent important. Avoid some of the distractions which come in the way. What are the possible distractions which can come in the way? We are attending to an assignment. So what are the possible distractions which can come in the way? Laziness. Okay, what else? Sleep. And start chatting. Huh? अरे क्या हो रहा भाई बताओ? हाँ? हाँ, wonderful. A casual gossip or a talk. Talk, wonderful. Sleep or laziness. What else are the distractions? What? Distraction. Social media, okay. Notifications. You are prompted by those notifications which keep on coming. What else? एक minute, yeah. Okay, wonderful. That's another distraction. Okay, so be aware. Can we be aware of what are those distractions which are coming in the way of me and my task, which are robbing me? Remember that robber? Yaad rahega na robber? 5,000 rupees. Right? What are those distractions? Distractions are nothing but your robbers. They are robbing you of your time. They are robbing 86,400 seconds. So are you aware? What are you doing about it? So distractions are the ones where you need to cut off. Okay? And don't say yes to unimportant things. So people keep on asking you for favors for doing things. Be very clear what is important, what is not important. Right? It's important to understand why you are procrastinating. So as you said, be it sleeping or be it laziness or be it phone call, what is it that you can do about it? If you are aware, first is awareness. Second thing is what you can do about it. You can easily say, be it your close friend or a relative, you can say, is there anything urgent? I'm into the middle of something urgent. I'm attending to some assignment which is urgent for me. Is there anything important that you want to discuss with me? Or can I connect with you once I am done with my assignment? Possible? Look at my tone. I'm respecting the other person. But at the same time, I'm saying, I'm into the middle of something which I have to submit by tomorrow morning. Is there anything urgent that you want to discuss right now? Or can we connect later? Will the person feel bad? Right. Can I start doing this? Right. And the last thing is, whenever you complete a task, maybe on time or before time, we humans are always requiring some motivation. Is it not? Right? Many times we look for extrinsic motivation, means from others. So can I start doing this? Can I start patting my own back? Which is nothing but, we call it as an intrinsic motivation, where the motivation has to come from within, right? The motivation has to come from within me. It means I will derive some pleasure, I will derive some happiness once I complete the task before time or on time, whatever it is. So start practicing intrinsic motivation rather than depending on others for that word called motivation. Derive that happiness, satisfaction, once you complete any task before time. Be it assignment or be it anything personal also. See the kind of happiness that you derive out of it. Right? And at the same time, it's also important for us to see the balance, so that work-life balance, so that I don't get into the stress. Remember, I was talking about stretching and straining. So while you are completing the task, you have to strike a balance so that you don't get burnt out. You are not getting overwhelmed. You're not getting into the strain zone. We need to have a work-life balance, right? In the campus life and also in the professional life, both, right? So that your physical health is important, because if you are physically fit, you will also be mentally fit. You need to have mental fitness. For that, your physical fitness matters a lot, right? So take care of your schedules, right? Remember that 86,400 seconds. What is it that you want to do in the wake time, the time that you are awake? From 86,400 seconds, at least you have to sleep for, I don't know whether you sleep for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Hey, come on. 4? 3? I am really wondering, are you all nocturnal animals? Right. 3 is too short. 4 is also short. I would suggest look at your own schedules and see where is your 86,400 seconds going. Right. So listen. What I am saying is, try and introspect. I can talk only when you stop talking. I am only saying, try and introspect. What are those distractions? What are those activities which are robbing you of your time? Right? Where is your time going? Assignment is fine, but is there any activity which is robbing you of your time? What is it that you can do about it? Reflect and see how do you want to manage your own 86,400 seconds, right? Productivity, relationships is all important, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, be very clear about your boundaries, about your schedules, how you want to manage your 86,400 seconds, right? Prioritize, plan and prioritize. P&P is what I would strongly recommend. Plan and prioritize what you want to do in the awake time that you have with you, right? How do you want to manage yourself better so that you are allocating the right time for the right activity, for the right purpose, right? And work habits, find out those distractions and see what is it that you can do about cutting off those distractions so that you are getting right time for the right activity. All right? And is it easy to say no? It's not easy. There is a book also called, Don't Say Yes When You Want to Say No. There is a way of saying no as well. There is a way of saying no. It doesn't mean you straight away say, no, I cannot do it, I will not do it. That's not the way. There is a way of saying no as well. Some time back when we started off the session, I said, I understand your concern of doing it, but however, I am not using but, however, I am tied up with a lot of activities for the day. Is it okay if I take it up tomorrow? I am actually saying no. I am actually saying no, but the way I put it also matters. I understand the requirement of yours. However, I have got a lot of activities which are keeping me busy the whole day today. I am afraid I will not be able to take out time for this. Is it okay if I take it up tomorrow? Is it okay if I attend to it tomorrow or day after? Actually, I am saying no, But instead of saying on the face, no, I will not do it, I cannot do it, how will I do it, कैसे करूँगा, कारण time किधर है, दम बनने की फुर्सत नहीं है. I am saying, I understand your requirement. However, my schedule is tight today because of one or two things. Is it okay if I attend to it either tomorrow or day after tomorrow? Or would you like to see who else can do it instead of me? Right, and that's how you take care of yourself. And what is it that I can do to leverage the technology? Is there anything that I can do about it? You know, to digitize the whole thing instead of doing it on paper. And of course, personal goals is something which we have already discussed. And mentoring and networking, I think we have discussed. Mentoring is something which we'll discuss a little later, maybe about half an hour later. So I'll not spend time here. And take some breaks and take some, I would say in between, because human brain, cannot be active when you're working on a project for a long time. So take such, small breaks in between, which will rejuvenate the human brain cells. Because after a while, there is a human brain fatigue which sets in. Human brain fatigue. Brain cells will start slowing down. So start looking at a small break of 1 or 2 minutes will rejuvenate the brain cells. Right. The next thing is we are looking at teamwork. Do we all work as a team here? So when there are events happening, right, when there are project works happening, we are all expected to work as a team. When you get into the, shall I continue? Yeah, I said one seminar hall, one voice, either your voice or my voice. So in the corporate life as well, while you are in a particular role, you will be required to work as a team, maybe in the same team or maybe the cross-functional team also, sometimes when you're working in a project. So that working as a team, collaborating is something which is part and parcel of your work, be it in the campus or be it in the corporate. Right. So when you are working, imagine that you are working in an event which is going to happen, and there is a group of 10 people who are told to work as a team for that particular event. What generally happens? What generally happens when you are told to, these 10 people are going to be part of that event? Kya hota hai? Yeah, please. Can we have a mic? Yeah, please pass it on. Quickly. Yeah, so when, the names are announced, we are looking at the names announcement. These 10 people are going to work in a particular event. What actually happens from then on?
Hello. Sir, generally we divide the task.
Straight away. 10 names are announced. You don't even know each other.
Yes.
You don't even know each other.
Okay. So
tell me what actually happens. I don't want all the sugar-coated things. The 10 names are announced. These 10 people do not even know each other.
First, there is some chaos. Then
abhi some chaos.
Yesterday there was a task. So firstly there was a chaos. Then
much before chaos, what happens?
We were finding our teammates.
So there is some. Can we have one voice? Can we respect her, please? If anyone is talking among themselves, it means you are having a disrespect for the person who is speaking. When you start speaking, you expect everyone to listen to you. But we should also respect a person who is speaking. So much before the chaos happens, what actually happens?
We were finding our teammates.
You were finding your teammates. Yes. It means there was a lot of curiosity, excitement. Who else are there? Where is this guy? Where is this? Can we connect with them? Can we come together? Can we meet? Is it not? So what is happening that time?
Sir, we were connecting and...
So a bit of curiosity, excitement?
Yes, because we were connecting with new people and new minds with new ideas. So we were curious enough that we will put that all new ideas in our project and presentations.
Wonderful. And then you were talking about chaos?
Yes, sir. Then there was a chaos that who will do which work. Then according to the yes. Yes.
No, you do this, I'll do this. No, I'll do this. You do this.
Yes, but we do have we were having our team leader Arjav, so he divided the work.
Wonderful.
And
wonderful. Then
then all were doing their assigned work.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful, excellent, excellent. So, this is a typical human behavior. What actually has happened here, and this was also studied, right, as a part of teamwork. This human behavior was actually studied by a person known as Dr. Bruce Tuckman. He has actually studied how humans behave when they have to come together and work in a project. And he has come out with a model of a teamwork and collaboration. This model is of 4 stages. First is, forming, then storming, then norming, and then performing. Now let us pick up some examples here. So, and look at the productivity also, or the performance, how it comes down at the time of storming. So what happens is, first and foremost is forming. I was asking her, your good name? Your good name?
Sir, Tanishk.
Tanishk? Tanishk? Oh, jewelry. Oh, right, wonderful. Thank you so much. So Tanishk was talking about, you were searching for each other. You are excited to know who else are there in my group. Is it not? So that is a kind of forming of a team when you are trying to form, when you are trying to locate people, when you are trying to come together and then see who else are there in my team in that event. Right? So you are actually forming a team, you are polite, you are trying to excite, you are excited, you are trying to avoid controversies, you are trying to know each other better. Is it not? More of awareness and knowing each other. Actually, that's a formation time where you are searching for team members and come together as a huddle. Then comes, chaos. You do this, no, this project you want to take, you do this, you activity. I don't have time, you do this. There is a lot of storming happens there. Obviously, the performance is not happening, is coming down. So in storming, there is a lot of conflict, there is a lot of argument, there is a lot of clash, egos, perspectives are different, is it not? Storming. And after that comes the norms, after that people will settle down. You said you have got a team leader here, right? A person takes over as a leader or a coordinator. That person will have some norms or some process or some policies or some ways of doing things, right? He will set up the system. Let us work this way. Let us have a process of doing it. So there is a norm or a process or a procedure which has set in. That's what everyone will settle down and start working towards that. And that's when the performance will start going up and you all work as a team and start performing. So Bruce Tuckman has come out with a model which is known as forming. When you form as a team, when you do a storming, when you go through that chaos, and then you do the norming, when you all form some norms, and then you start performing, and that's when the performance goes up. This is a typical human behavior that we all go through. Now the point is, how much time we should spend on storming? Because this is a process that we all go through. This is the human behavior that we all observe and go through. There is no shortcut for this. How much time we should be spending on storming? Yeah, Tanishk?
Sir, not much because we were given deadlines or only 1 hour. So it was our leader who told us that we should not.
Okay, fine. I got it. So it also telling us very clearly that the time that we are going to spend on storming, can we think of crunching it? Can we think of reducing this time? Can we quickly come to a understanding? Because we know that there are going to be clashes, egos and perspectives and all are going to be there. Can we become more respectful, mindful, aware and get into the norming stage quickly? All right? So this is what is a typical human behavior of given to us by Bruce Tuckman. First we form a team, storm, norm and then perform. All right? And now let us see how do we, when we are trying to work as a team, there are going to be a lot of emotions which are going to be involved. Right? No, I have blacked it out. I have blacked out the screen. So because, I want everyone to listen to me and not look at the screen. When you are working as a team and when you're trying to collaborate, remember we are all social animals where there are going to be emotions involved, right? A lot of emotions are there and we go through a lot of emotions in a day, positive, negative emotions, right? And it is also required that we need to also understand, become aware of my own emotions and understand the emotions of others as well. Because remember sometime back we were discussing about thoughts, emotions and behaviors. Emotions are the ones which will drive my behavior. So when I'm trying to work as a team and I'm looking at collaborating, what is it that is driving the behavior? It is the emotion. So emotion is nothing but, energy in motion is emotion, and I need to be becoming aware of what are those emotions. So emotions are the ones which will make you experience the emotion, which will make you react, which will also the way we behave or respond in a particular situation is what is emotion also, right? And if I have to be a team player, I'm talking about be a team player, I need to be demonstrating the emotional intelligence. There are two things, IQ and EQ. IQ is all about your subject matter expertness, your expertise on the subject is IQ, intelligence quotient. Emotional quotient is all about how am I understanding the emotions of others? How am I understanding the emotions of myself? I go through a lot of emotions in a day, positive or negative, right? Sometimes I react, sometimes I respond. Sometimes I go back to my room and say to myself, I should not have talked like this, I should not have behaved like this, I should not have told like this. Hota hai apne saath? It happens, right? Because when I am facing a trigger, I can either respond or I can react. How often we react instead of responding when I am going through a trigger or an emotion or, a trigger or maybe instigation or a provocation. So whenever I am going through any trigger, we have a power to decide either I can react or respond. So that is all about how am I becoming, how am I able to regulate my own emotions? I'm not talking about suppressing emotions. Don't suppress your emotion because there will be emotional outbursts. First is become aware of your own emotions, right? What are those emotions that I'm going through in a day? What are those triggers which are making me go through the negative emotions where I am reacting instead of responding? And the next thing is empathy. What is empathy to all of us? One voice at a time, yeah? Empathy is compassion. Compassion is beyond empathy. Yeah. Understanding somebody's situation, okay?
Stepping into someone's shoes and feeling what actually they are feeling and then responding to it.
Okay. Right. Can I ask you something challenging here? Kya ho gaya? Okay. Right. You are spot on in saying this. Getting into the shoes of another person is empathy. Typical definition, one-liner. I would like to learn from you. Do you really remove your shoe before you get into the shoes of another person? Not really, right? So if I am not removing my shoe and trying to get into the shoes of another person, am I really feeling the pinch of the other person?
Because generally we don't do that. It is like we think that no, we should be at our position, and we generally don't think that no, we should think according to the person they are thinking.
Okay.
It's a human nature.
If I am not removing my shoe, am I really feeling the pinch of the other person, what the other guy is feeling? Is it really empathy? If I am not feeling the pinch, if I am not feeling the pain, the emotion, the concern, the feelings of the other person, is it really empathy? Right? So I have removed my shoe just to show you that empathy means remove your shoe before you get into the shoes of another person. Right? It means you have to put yourself, you have to see the world from their lens. What are they seeing? What are the emotions that they are going through? What are they feeling? You have to visualize what is happening in their world. That is empathy. Otherwise, it's just sympathy, lip service. Right? And the last part is, one is I need to be aware of my own emotions. Second thing is I need to be aware of the other person's emotions as well. What is the emotion that the other person is going through? What is it that I am looking at? What is it that I am observing? How is it landing with others? What is it that I can do in order to understand the emotions and respect the emotions of other person? This is what is emotional quotient all about. In order to have work as a team, in order to collaborate, we need to be emotionally intelligent as well. All right? So when we are collaborating, there are a lot of tools and techniques which are available to all of us to collaborate. Now let us have a look at what are the tools which are available to us. I'm sure some of the tools you already must be using, right? Let us have a look at all the tools, right? First and foremost is communication tool. I'm sure you're all familiar with MS Teams, Zooms and Slacks, right? And there are project management tools which are also available. I'm sure many of you must have been part of some projects. So Trello is one popular tool for working on a particular project. And Asana, Jira is another one. How many of you have used Trello here? Any of you have tried? No? Yes? Okay, Jira, Asana. Yeah. Would you like to talk about your experience?
I have worked on the Jira particularly. So if another department's person or the particular authority wants to get work done by me or by my team, they just put the requirement up there and the work is assigned to me and my team and then we worked on that particular assignment and then the particular process would be done on the Jira and then we deliver the particular project to that department.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent, excellent. Can we all put our hands together for him? Right, so similarly, you have got Trello, you have got Asana as well. My request is, of course, you all have made a note of these two platforms. Explore, play around, see what this platform is all about. Because remember one thing, you all are going to be part of some project. You all are going to be working as a team, right? So play around, become aware of all the functionalities of this project, of this digital platform, right? I understand even Trello is also a good platform, right? It's mobile friendly. You can, once you become friendly with these platforms, as you come out of the campus, get into corporate, you are going to be working on many projects there. You will become more comfortable and friendly with these platforms. So time starts now, right? I'm sure you all have made a note, but start exploring, start playing around with these platforms. And of course, collaboration tools, MS Office, Workspace, I think we are using a lot of Google Slides, Google White Page, so on and so forth. We are using OneDrive, Google Drive, I think we are all familiar, Dropbox, we are all familiar, right? And so also Miro.com, Whiteboards and Mural.com are all collaboration tools. If you're working remotely with some people, you can use Miro.com or Mural.com. All right. And now let us look at some of the collaboration techniques. Now that we have seen the tools, now let us have a look at techniques as well. We have got effective communication check-ins. It means when you're part of the team, like for some event you are part of, it means you have to practice regular check-ins. It means be in touch with everyone. Have a regular check-ins, meetings, or communication channel should be open. And at the same time, as a team player, we need to demonstrate active listening. What is active listening? Listening is, we are all familiar. What is active listening? Anyone would like to talk about active listening? Yeah?
Jai Hind sir, Stuti Sharma. Actually, active listening is the effective listening. We, for example, if two persons are doing the conversation, one must listen to it very effectively and know the.
You're coming on track. Complete.
Yes, sir. Very effectively, we have to listen it. We should know what they are saying, what emotions they are conveying.
Wow, lovely, lovely.
What emotions they are conveying.
And good attempt, good attempt. Right, wonderful. So one of the first tactics of active listening, we call it as a thumb rule, is allow the person to speak what they are trying to speak. Means I should not be distracting or I should not be interrupting a person who has started speaking. Thumb rule number 1. Number 2 is encourage the person to speak more. How do I encourage the other person to speak more?